What is VLOOKUP? The VLOOKUP function is used to find specific information in a table or a range of cells based on a given value. Think of it like looking up a word in a dictionary. You have the word you want to find, the lookup value, and you want to find its definition, the corresponding information to that word. Here's a breakdown. Lookup value. This is the value you're searching for in the first column of the table. Table array, the range of cells containing your data. Column index number, the number of the column starting with 1 from which to retrieve the value, and then the range lookup. This is specify an exact match, false or 0, or an approximate match, true or 1. In our case, we will always be using a exact match, which will be 0. In essence, VLOOKUP searches for the lookup value in the leftmost column of the table, and when it finds it, it returns a value from the specified column in the same row. So let's find an example. We will start with a very simple scenario. This example will have a single serial number, and we are trying to find 3 variables based off of the serial number. So, what I'm using is this lookup value, and I'm going to use this lookup value to find these 3 key variables in this data table. So there's one thing that we're going to have to do with the data table over here before we can use this serial number. We're going to have to prep it. So your lookup value in the range that you're using will always have to be the left side. So since we're using serial numbers, we are going to drag this all the way to the left side of our data table. Subsequently, everything you want to find will have to be on the right side of it. So we're going to have to bring the MAC address, the client name, and the miner name to the right side of the serial numbers. Let's do that. All right. Now that we have the miner MAC, client name, and miner name to the right side of the miner serial, we are ready to use VLOOKUP. So all we do is we choose a cell to the right of our lookup value. We type in equals, and we start typing out VLOOKUP. It'll automatically pop up here for you. You can click on it. Then we're going to use the lookup value, which in this case, again, is a serial number. After choosing the lookup value, you will simply hit a comma. You will go to your data table, and you will select the column that contains your lookup values, or your lookup range, essentially. Then you will drag first over your lookup range, then over the column that is containing the value in which you seek to find. Now that we have our values in the value that we wish to find, you will hit F4, then you will hit comma, and we will hit 2 because the value that we're looking for is in the second column, so we will hit 2, and then we will hit comma, and we will hit 0. Hitting this 0 specifies it as an exact match, meaning it will have to find that exact serial number in this column and then look for the subsequent MAC address that follows that. Then we will close this off. And as you can see, it has returned our MAC address. So it is the same process to do the client name and the miner name, but slightly different, and I'll show you how. Again, we choose our value. We use a comma. We highlight until we get to the row that contains what we want to find. We hit F4. We hit comma. And in this scenario, we have to find the third value because the third column here is the value that we're looking for. So we'll hit 3, comma, again, an exact match, so we're going to use 0. And then we will close this off. And now we have our client name. Next, we will find the miner name. So again, we use equals VLOOKUP, our value, comma. We start at the miner serial, bring it all the way over until we get to the miner name, which is the column we're looking for. We hit F4, we hit comma, and we are looking for the value in the fourth column. So we hit 4, comma, 0, specifying an exact match. Then we will close this off. Now we have the miner name. So we have successfully found the MAC address, the client name, and the miner name based only off of the serial number within this data table. Now we'll be doing an example that has multiple values. You'll come to find that it takes the same amount of time to use multiple values as it does to use a single value. So, again, we'll be using equals VLOOKUP. And in a case where we have multiple values, you simply choose the column that contains all of them. Then we'll hit a comma. And we'll do the exact same thing we did in the last one. So we select our values, then the value in which we wish to find. We hit F4. We hit comma. We are looking for the second value, so we hit 2, comma, 0. We close this off. And then in order to find the rest of them, we double click this blue dot and it returns the rest of our values. Now we'll do the same thing for the client name and the miner name. So we use equals VLOOKUP, select the entire column, comma, from miner serial over to client name, F4, we're looking for the third value, close it off, double click the blue dot, and it returns all of the values subsequently. Then we're looking for the miner name, equals VLOOKUP, select our column, comma, from miner serial over to miner name, F4, comma, fourth value, comma, exact match, close it off, double click, and we're done. We have found all of our values, and it took the exact same amount of time as it did to find just one.